Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Casey's Craft Space. My name is Catherine Chalfin, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Venice, Florida. Today we have some exciting news. May 5th, Stampin' Up! Is coming out with the catalog launch, May through August 2026 catalog. And we're going to take a really quick flip through this. I've already marked my catalog. There's a quick and easy way you can go online and easily download the digital catalog and also look at all the online exclusive items. Stampin' Up! Is really doing a great job putting a lot of the new products online in the online exclusive section. And before we get started, I just wanted to say welcome. And if you're viewing this, this is a recording for this presentation. So let's get started. All right, first off, we have Stampin' Up's come out with some new Stampin' pads, classic stamp pads. They're magnetic covers, and I think I've ordered a couple of colors, but I have not received those yet. So I can't demonstrate the magnetic closure, but you can go online in my store and also view that. And how you get to my store is catherinechalfin.stampinup.net. So anyway, we have the shimmer brushes. That's on order also. And we're going to do a real quick flip through, and then towards the end, we'll actually make a little card with one of the bundles that I chose. And for the product of the month, Stampin' Up! Started doing this, I think back in January, and different items for purchase of $75 or I think it's $75 or more. You get one of your choice of the $5 product of the month. And I think in January I got the Fabulous Sayings and then Notes of Spring stamp set for, it might have been March or April. But anyway, those are just a nice little quick gift. And once again, we have our paper pumpkin. Love my paper pumpkin. I tell you, that's the quick and easiest way to get your crafts taken care of. And everything's all contained. And in fact, one of the cards that I'm going to make today, we're going to use a portion of my April 2026 Lakeside Retreat. This actually coordinates with a couple of the other designs. I think it's, I'm not sure what pattern it is, but it coordinates. And I just split that card in half, and we're going to use that. And also, it's a great way. I received the Peaceful Pines. You get a little Stampin' Spot. So I'm going to also use that. That's one of our new in colors. We'll discuss that later on in the catalog. And you still have time up until the 10th of the month to order online a paper pumpkin. And this one is Lakeside Retreat. All right, the next item. And what I like about paper pumpkin, you can do that monthly. You can do it 3 months, 6 months, and I think you can do it yearly, and also month to month. But it's a great way to collect some product and also actually complete your cards. And let's see what else we have here. Just going to show you a couple of things. I like how they've laid out this catalog this time. I like some of the little sayings they have. Just looking through. So this catalog is set up where you have the quick and easy, where, you know, you have their little ephemera packs, everything all set, mixed greetings. You have your designer series paper, and then you can put them in a scrapbook format or even a card, and it's pretty much ready to go. And then down here at the bottom on this particular page, if you need any inspiration for either, scrapbooking or making a card, you can also go online and see some other ideas. I use those templates quite a bit when I'm designing cards, or just gives me a stepping off point. And then you go into the quick and easy creative your way, and you can design. I love this Velvet Meadow. And then they have Waterside Retreat. That's the one that coordinates with my Lakeside Retreat. Was the Waterside Retreat. All those colors coordinate. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, and then I have this also, but I don't have it out right now. The Bloom Boutique Suite Collection. Just love those colors. Yeah. Oh, and the little butterflies. I'll show you those towards the end also, towards for the embellishments. And these are the scrapbooking workshop kits, or, you can even cut those apart and use those as cards. But if you're into the scrapbooking, it's a great way to have it all planned out and ready to go. Love those colors. Here's the Waterside Retreat. Love these colors too. Valley in Bloom is another sweet collection. And when I say sweet collection, you usually get dies, stamps, maybe some embellishments, specialty paper, different things like that. So it's a combination. But you can also purchase, items individually. There are some things that I've purchased individually, and then there's others that I like the whole set. And on the first page, that's when they kind of show you different ideas of the kit, or actually the collection, I should say. And Life in Bloom. Ooh, these are pretty colors. The purple, the designer series paper. Ooh, pretty. And it's really neat to have a stamp set. I did a retreat last year with the scrapbooking. I'm still working on it. I have about 6 more months to go. But it was really neat to actually use some stamp sets right in my scrapbooking. And this iridescent foil, love those colors. Definitely reminiscent of a sunset. Those are so pretty. Strawberry Slush, Crushed Curry, Balmy Blue, Blueberry Bushel, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape. Oh, just so yummy. And then Beautiful Ordinary Life. Those are pretty vibrant colors too. Another nice sweet collection. I think I know why I am a demonstrator. I get a discount because I love all this stuff, and I actually use a lot of it. I do make a couple of junk journals or books or scrapbooking and cards for a few people in my neighborhood. And also I do the paper pumpkin and the kits. Those are really fun. And this is the Velvet Meadow. And the Velvet Meadow, what I loved about this collection is, you can't tell on screen, but a few of these flowers, the white flowers and the pink ones, have like raised fuzzy texture on it. It's like a velveteen. In fact, that's what it's called, velveteen. But you got you got one side is a flower, the other is a plain, and you get several. Look at these gorgeous colors. I actually have a friend that would like me to make a book for her, so I'm going to use this paper. And once again, these flowers have that little fuzzy velveteen on it. And I just thought that would be neat for a little texture in a card. Here's another one. You can't really tell, but the white or the, you know, the little flowers behind are all velveteen. And we'll be using that in the card that we're making in the towards the end. Here's another one. Oh, those pink colors. Love it. Showing you both sides. That's one side, and then the plain side. So it's really neat to, you know, go ahead and, you know, you have plenty of paper. And another velveteen assortment. This is actually just all the velveteen crushed paper. And I think, yeah, this is Peaceful Pine, Bubble Bath, and White. So we got Bubble Bath and White. And oh, it's just so yummy, and it feels so fuzzy. I love it. Kind of a different way to make cards and add texture to a card. Especially the card that I'm making is more masculine, and I like building layers on masculine cards, and instead of, you know, building with all the embellishments. You can definitely just use that as texture. And the colors here: Daffodil Delight, Peaceful Pine, Cloud Cover, Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, and Basic Beige. Pretty. And with this particular suite, this collection, Flowering Meadow, and then you get the dies that go with it. And Stampin' Up! Has come up with a new way of transporting or having their stamps. If you remember, we used to have them in like a CD, DVD case. And if you notice, that kind of takes up quite a bit of space versus this little sleeve that has the same stamps in there. And they just fold up. And I have not figured out just yet how I would like to organize my new stamps. I've seen a few people, and I've done this on a couple of my other, I do it on my dies. I take a white marker and I outline, so that way when you pull them off, like I do have one stamp that is out because we're going to use that one, but that's the one that if you did look at this, I would be able to say, oh, well, I'm missing that one. So it is a good idea. I think I might do a nice little black outline, but I'm still thinking on that. But they slip right in there. You can tuck that in. And like I said, I'm still looking at a method. I'll probably just stack them up. I have a kind of like a file accordion section on my desk that I'll probably stand them all up. But then you have your dies. The dies are also nice and thin. And what I like now, you can actually see all the designs on the front, and they're packaged with the little sticky tape. But I've also ordered some magnetic sheets from Stampin' Storage, or Store and Stamp. Oh, I forget now. Stampin' Store, I think that's what it's called. But I'm not affiliated with them in any way. But anyway, I'm going to get a magnetic sheet, and then like I had on my previous ones, I like having them, you know, put on a little magnet sheet, and then I can peel them off pretty quick and put them back on. So those are coming those are a few of the things that you get. You get the Velveteen Assortment paper. You get your Designer Series paper. Oh, Dreamy Flowers. Part of that. You get these cute little flowers. And I love the berry burst and the pink, so it didn't surprise me when I saw this. I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And then you get your dies in the stamp set. Very pretty. I know I have a vocabulary of, oh, very pretty, and oh, I love it. That's pretty much everything. And then this Moonlight Flora. Love these greens and deep, rich colors. Golden Glow is a new color. And something new coming out is they have an impression plate. So you can take one of your typical dies. And for instance, this one is, they're called the impression dies. You'll take those and they like emboss or deboss, and they put an impression on your cardstock and just a different element. So that's a new item, and you can go online in my store and look at how that is. They have some videos on how to use that. Then you have our bundle sections, and that's usually a stamp set and a die bundled together. And once again, you get like a 10% discount if you buy the set together, but you don't have to. You can always buy them separately. Let's see here. Yeah. And then the other item I got was the flowering meadow bundle. And that I think I showed you that. Yeah, I already showed you that. That came in that suite. And then I did a masculine card for the gears and texture. I am loving that set. That one is one of my favorites. And let me see, where did I put that? Now I can't find it. One of my favorites. Here it is. So I don't have the dies, and I have those in a different packaging. My old way, I'll show you my old way of storing my dies and my stamps together. Can't really see them on the back, but they're stuck together. And that's what the same magnetic sheet or sleeve or slip is going to be to accommodate the new Stampin' Up sleeves or envelopes. But I kind of still have quite a few of these, so I'll use those up, and then when I'm finished, I'll transition over to the new stamp sleeves. And you can actually store more or actually have more room, so it's a good idea. Oh, I just saw this Safari. That's really cute. Safari Smiles bundle. That is so cute. Little elephant. Oh, I just saw that. That's the thing, what I love. And that's why I'm taking the time to kind of go through this with you, or you're with me, is that every time I go through the catalog, I see something new that I like or something different. Also, catalogs are great. Even online, you can see, different ideas and, templates. Oh, Relaxing Waterside Bundle, Extraordinary Life Bundle. So see, they've broken them down to bundles, the stamp set and the dies. Or it could be a stamp set and a punch. Those are pretty colors. And I flagged some of this so I could remember to share. And then later on in the year, I will be using different techniques, products. And this is one of the techniques that I wanted to share, is that Stampin' Up! Came out with a new stamp and positioner. And that, I don't have that out just yet. It's on the other desk. But I will be showing you how to use that. And what you want to use that for, well, you can use it anytime, but let's say you have a large stamp, and maybe you're doing several stamps and you need to have them in that precise spot. You can position it and stamp it and just replace the paper, and you don't have to line it up each time. So it saves you a lot of time. And it also, it's great for beginners, because let's say you're trying to figure out if you have a heavy hand when you stamp or a light hand. This kind of gives you an option to get an idea and to feel how hard you need to push when stamping. But that's brand new Stampin' Positioner. And then there's a slider for a little one. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to use that. That's going to be fun. That'd be really good for like when you're making Christmas cards, and you know, let's say you're making 8 Christmas cards and you have 8 of the same design. Just put that particular stamp there and then stamp all your cards, and they're perfect. And let's see here, we got sending salutations, caring animals. Aw. Now these are the stamp sets. These are scallop blooms. Let's see. Words and wishes. Can never have too many sayings. And phrases and frames. Crafted with care. I like all those little cute happy mail, good vibes. Aw, that's so cute. And then let's see here. And you also have the wonderful Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that makes all those beautiful items for your cards to give them depth and just bring them up a notch. Now we're into the dies. Oh, before, I don't think I have any more stamps, but before I go on, this is a Prayers and Promises. I really like this set. Very nice salutations. They have praying that the Lord's promises will bring you hope and comfort in the days ahead. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, John 14:27. So they're really neat salutations or messages that you can stamp for the inside of your card. Right, those are dies, and then embossing folders, and then we have a rounded rectangle punch that I got a new punch. I'm so excited. So let's do a little punch. This is Lost Lagoon. Yeah. See if I can find a smaller scrap. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. We'll just do this. Look at how clean and crisp. let's say you're doing a bunch of cards, you know, you're making a set of 4 cards for somebody, you can punch out 4 little greetings, and off you go. It's a great way to, oh, might as well finish off the whole paper. So now I have a bunch of tags. I love my new rounded rectangle punch. And I don't know if you know that, you can, for storage, fold them flat. I put mine in a drawer, but I keep them open because then I can grab them real fast. And yeah, I got a couple of tags for, you know, salutations and greetings ready to go. That was fun. And oh, I have this keeping tabs. I love that. That's a nice one for making little, oops, I gotta fly in there. Okay, let's go on here. So now we have the Designer Series paper. Oh, I love the paper too. I did not get this Artisan Sketch Garden yet, but that's on my list too, where it's black and white, and you have endless possibilities because you can just get any color and paint those flowers. And then we got Bloom Boutique. Oh, yeah, Scenic Coast, specialty paper. And you have the in color patterns. And they have some two-tone cardstock that's really nice. One side is lighter than the other. One is light and the other is dark. Very nice, because then it gives you twice the possibility of making, you know, a different pattern, changing it up. Have some pretty albums, basic black albums, you know, to make, you know, keep your scrapbooking items in. Another fun thing, I use the journaling pens. I like it. It's real nice fine tip. Fine tip for journaling and writing things. Those are new. Well, they've been in the other catalog, but newer. And then the new item is they're called the white gel pens. Those are fun looking. I've not used those yet. Those would really be pretty on black cardstock. Oh, and the basic black hybrid stamp pad. This is interesting to point out that it's permanent acid-free ink, and it works for with the Stampin' Blends and also watercoloring. So instead of having 2 different types of stamp pads like we used to have, Memento and like Stays On, now you can just have one pad for, you know, for both of those. And that's really good for watercoloring, because then that ink will not bleed once it's wet. Oh, now the embellishments. We already saw the dreamy flowers. Those are fun. And then, oh, I like the little butterflies, the in-color butterflies. And those colors are, let's see here, where are they? Oh, it's Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, and Peaceful Pine, and White for those butterflies. Really pretty. And then we have the in color dots. Those are nice. This came with another suite that I had, Pearls of Beauty. I just love the colors on that too. And then we had the Moody palette. And I had those. Then the next item, it's the water and dotted lines, and they're decorative masks. And let's see what page. I think they're on the, yeah, they're right here, page 76. So what I like about these, they have, they're vinyl, but they're 12 by 12. So if you're doing a scrapbook page, just think of all the cute little colors you could have. It just gives a little more texture. And then you have the dots, which could be, you know, just like a loose form of journaling. So I got these for that reason. Just something fun and different. And shimmer brushes. I know I mentioned that before. Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine. Still trying to remember all those new colors. Really pretty. And here they are again. Hope you enjoy them. They look so pretty, and yeah. I ordered a stamp pad, like I said earlier, and I can't wait to get that and see how that goes. And then those shimmer brushes. So I got some new things. And of course our paper, cardstock, I should say, cardstock. It's all set up in a nice subtles, brights, regals, neutrals, in color for the 25, 27, and then the in color 26, 28. And then you have the index. And most of all, when you shop with me, Stampin' Up! Gives you Stampin' rewards. You earn 10% back in rewards when you spend. I think it's $75, or probably for each dollar. I don't know. I forget now. But anyway, you do get 10% rewards earned towards that, and then towards your next order. But that's really a nice little feature. And then we will make a card. And I want to show you a couple of, before we make the card, I'll show you another online exclusives. And when I say online exclusive, it's always online, and you go there and it's actually listed as online exclusives. Lovely arrangements. You have stamp set, then you have the dies, and that came with another kit that I'm working on. Flowers Flare. So this is a perfect example, and I'll probably use this for my demo, is when I'm using that Stampin' Positioner, just to make sure, since it's such a big stamp, just to make sure I get all the flowers inked correctly, I will put it in my stamp positioner, ink it up, and then stamp it. That way I have opportunity to fill in all the all the edges and the lines to make sure it comes out clean. And this particular bundle, it's not available yet, but if you go online, you can put in there, put me on a wait list. The Delicate Whispers, you get your stamp set. And I like these because I like the little tiny flowers, wishing you happiness and love, thank you kindly. Just nice, soft little messages. And here's another, the little flower sprays that you can put in your positioner, line it up, and then just stamp. And then you have dies that can cut out those flowers once you stamp them. These natural matte dots are pretty. And the delicate flowers, I'll show you the colors. I don't know exactly what plan I have yet, but what I liked about this set is the delicate designer series paper, and it is like a foil. Sorry, I didn't have it all. It's like foil and shiny. You can see it. Yeah. So it's really nice to have that different design. Whoops. And once again, two-sided designer series paper. Look at this paper. Isn't it gorgeous? Ah, I just saw it and I was like, okay, I have to have it. I don't know what plans I'll have, but maybe somebody will get a card made out of this. Look at that. Beautiful, yummy colors. Just different designs, and love that shininess. There it is. The camera will definitely pick that up. Here's another one. Look at that, how it shimmers. Imagine having a card. You wouldn't even have to put in a lot of effort for that. You know, just go with maybe a real subtle background, and then maybe cut out even a couple of little pieces of that designer series paper. Isn't that gorgeous? And that was the Delicate Dreams. Just wanted to share that. So the next one, oh, and then also you get some ribbon with that sweet. Yeah, that's really pretty. Gray granite ribbon. Goes with anything. Okay, now this is, I saw this, and at first, when I saw it, I saw the sweet old, they're called what? Sweet Old Friends. And I just thought, oh, I don't need any animal sticker or animal stamps. But then I looked at it closer, and it's Winnie the Pooh. So it is, my brother loves Winnie the Pooh. So we're going to make him a birthday card that's kind of late. But look at these. So on this suite, this is a suite, you have your dies. Then you also have your stamps. So you stamp your image and you can color it, and then you cut it out. Then also it comes with sweet words and labels. This is the stamp set. So you stamp, and then they also have dies to go with that. So let's say you didn't have a Stampin' Cut machine, emboss machine. You could still get the stamps and just fussy cut them out. And what I did was I used one of the, pull this out, show you how it comes. I used this edge of the die. Then I lined it up on my paper, which I will show you. This designer series paper is just so stinking cute. Look at that. So I did 3 of those. 3 of these little tags. I call them tags, but you can look at the possibilities of, and then here's one with Eeyore. Look at the possibilities with those dies. Oh, it's just so much fun. And also, you stamp stamp your image, and we will color in some honey jars. But I wanted to show you those cute little, get those there. And along with this suite, you get the 100 Acre Wood 3D embossing folder. And look at this. You have, now I used it on just another, you know, a retired paper. But I took a little green with my blending brushes and I kind of highlighted the trees. But this is a gorgeous little embossing folder. Oh, I love the design. And in fact, I forgot to use that in my brother's card, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll use it for something else. But look at this paper. You got all of Winnie the Pooh's friends. Once again, it's double-sided. Even got the names, Pooh, Piglet. And then we get Gingham. And look at this. This designer series paper is just gorgeous. Oh. Yeah. And then you have backside. This is the side that we were going to use for my other tags. Then you also have the forest, and then you have little Pooh Bear in the tree climbing to get the honey. And then you have the map of the 100 acre forest, and then and then you have Piglet, Eeyore, Owl. And the basic. But that's the designer series paper for Silly Old Bear. And that is our featured card today, along with the online exclusive. They have 3 of these little clipboards. I just love these because then in presentations, you know, it's like a little easel. And after I'm finished making the card, I can put it up here and display it. So I really like those little. Let's color some little honey pots real quick. And I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper because I'm going to use some of my Stampin' Blends. And I just love these colors too. I've already colored one here. So we're going to use light pecan pie. And unfortunately, I don't have the new colors, but I am getting, I think I got the hydrangea hue coming along with a gold one. But I'll have to, I'm sure towards the end of the year, I'll actually get other ones too. So I'm just gently kind of doing the bottom of the jars just to give it a little depth, you know, color in that white spot. And maybe follow the little black lines that the artist already put in. They're pretty. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then this is light Craze and Craze. I like the color of this. We're just going to do the same color scheme. I love these alcohol blending markers. Really fun. And this one is the SU 900. And it's just like a neutral. I'm going to just use that for the inside here. Actually, neutral, yeah. I do a little neutral. And I'm also going to do a little, this one is called SU 1000. This is a little bit pinkier, just to kind of give it a different layer. Look, kind of changes the color. And then we have light smoke slate. I'm going to do the tops of the jar with that. It's just relaxing coloring. So we can do that. And then I'm going to come in and just kind of do a little old olive. There we go. Aren't they so pretty? So quick and easy. We'll put those up there. And then we will, later on, I'll go ahead and die cut that. My die cut machine is on the other side of the room. But that's what we'll work on. And then also wanted to let you know what I did. So with this particular die cut, I didn't have like any more very vanilla cardstock, but I kind of wanted it a little weathered looking. So that's when I used this SU 900. Yeah. And just lightly put that in there. Just to kind of take the stark white out of it, All right. And there's our little message. Here is, and this is what I wanted, because bears are fuzzy, so I kind of wanted that texture in this masculine card. So I use this velveteen, and I will, that particular, it's 1 inch by, let's see, 3 3/4. And I kind of use some of my scraps, so some of these might not be your traditional measurements, because I had this already set up and I wasn't going to use it there, so I really like that. And then let's see here. So this one is, the inside is 3 inches by about maybe 4.5, and that's pebbled path, but you can use any, gray. Like I said, this is a scrap. And then that black mat is 3 1/4 by about 4 3/4. And then I have, like I said, I used part of my paper pumpkin. And what I did was I wanted to distress the edges. So you can get a distressing tool, or you can use your scissors and just kind of scrape scrape the edges. And you can also use your blending brush. I have, oh, where's my blending brush? I have the espresso. We're going to do a little bit ink, just to kind of give it that weathered, rustic, torn look. Also kind of have it pop a little. Like I said, on a masculine card, you kind of want to really, well, I like getting into the textures and not really fancy and pretty, but more of, you know, a different texture or feel to it. So then we have our regular card base. Our card base is your typical, I think it is anyway. Let's see here. This is 8 inches by 5.5. Folded in half is about 4. So we will put this designer series paper down first. And I'm going to use my little liquid glue. I hope you know, it always runs out of glue when you're on camera. Run out of battery, glue, the dogs bark or something happens. But that's okay. We're going to put this on the card right here. Line it up. And I don't mind that it kind of curls up on the edges. Just, like I said, it gives it that little texture. Then we're going to lay that next part down there. Actually, I was thinking that then I'll raise, yeah. I was thinking, what part am I going to elevate? And I decided I'll elevate my little Pooh and his friends, using kind of a lot because it's a little bit more, a little thicker. All right. And place that down. And one thing I do like using the liquid glue for is that you have a little bit of time to, you know, wiggle it around and move it if you need to. So then, oh, we need to stamp our sentiment. And I've used Cheering You On. And I think that was from, oh, now I don't know. Cheering You On. Anyway, it was from another stamp set. And I am going to use Peaceful Pine, my new stamp spot. And looking for my little pad. I like using a little pad, silicone pad, to kind of get a good stamp. Now you can stamp off and test it. This is where that Stampin' Positioner would be good too. I could just put that sentiment tag in there, stamp right away, not worry about it. And if it didn't take, then I could always redo it. Or you can stamp on and stamp off. Cheering you on. That turned out really good. That's a really nice stamp. Crisp and clear. I like that. Almost want to keep this card for myself. All right. So, and I've already cut my little velveteen. And for my particular design process, I cut it just to the edge of that. But I'm going to have this particular, I guess, poo sentiment tag. I want that to be adhered to. So I'm going to do just the center here. And then it does slide a little, that velveteen. I'm going to just let it adhere a little bit longer. But it just peeks out enough. And then I'm going to get some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I like using the Take Your Pick tool, a little picker point. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to want to elevate that. So put it on both sides. I'll elevate the center too. And I'm just going to kind of center it. And let's see here. I think I will go ahead and just, I don't know whether, I think I will put this tag flat because I want the Pooh Bear tag to pop up a little bit. Kind of be the focal point, even though, you know, you got cheering you on. And I'm just going to put that, oops, see what I mean? You can move it around a little bit, cheering you on. Beautiful, cute little masculine card. And this is what I was talking about, that when you finish your project, but we're going to decorate the inside, you can display it. So pretty. I love that. That turned out really good, if I may say so myself. So now I had a little extra velveteen and also my other paper. Do a little roughing of the edges also. And I'm just going to do it to the end, I guess. I don't really have a plan. I'm just thinking. Yeah, so I'll put the velveteen velveteen there. I never can cut straight. Yeah, we'll do that right there. That way, you know, you can really feel this texture. Getting it really good. All right. And we're almost coming to a close. I hope you had a good time going through the launch of the new Stampin' Up catalog. I'm going to try to, I'd like to get back into doing Facebook Lives, but I need 100 followers before I can do that, since they changed it. I was able to do it, you know, before they changed the rules. So, thank you for following me. I appreciate it. It always helps because I'm trying to get to 100 so then I can do free live, you know, do lives. I do like just hopping on and being like, oh, hey, let's do this. Real quick and easy. And that's, yeah, I'm going to trim that off a little bit. I just got a little tail. Yeah. But we got to use some of, see the cute little inside? I always like decorating my inside. And then this is the best part. Now, I know my brother loves Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh always said, oh, bother. So I'm going to have to put oh, bother in here. Yeah, it's just so cute. Yeah, I'm just gonna, and I'll just kind of put it towards the side. And I'm gonna stay with the same theme of the peaceful pines. Pine, there we go. And that's the first time using that. So I'm gonna, yep, that stamps well. The reason why I like stamping on and off and testing it, especially on new stamps, because they do have a little film on there. So you can either, you might have even seen me, you know, brush the edge of it, you know, of the pot, or the edge of the stamp. There we go. And then I'm just gonna put, oh, bother. Look at that. And that's just so cute. And then you got to deck this out because this is just so cute. I think we need to, yeah, I might put those there. Okay. So then, since I colored them before, well, thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, you can go online to my store. Kind of right up here in the corner. CatherineChalfin.stampinup.net. You can send me a message if you have any questions on anything. And I kind of like it at this angle, just because it's whimsical. Isn't that so cute? So I don't know if you ever thought of decorating the inside of your cards, but now I could find a little happy birthday too, or I can write my own message. But there's a cute little cheering you on using the cute little sweet words label, oh, bother. And what else was that? Yeah, the silly old bear. Oh, I just think it's so cute. So we are going to say goodbye. We're going to show off the nice, cute little Winnie the Pooh card. Thanks again, and have a good night.